You know what I really appreciate about Northwest Naturals, Carly?
Oh, I know. They don't play the chewy or direct-to-consumer game.
Exactly. They stand with the independents. No undercutting, no competing with their own stores.
Yeah, instead, they actually invest in promotions and programs that grow our businesses.
Retailers are noticing too. Northwest Naturals isn't just a food brand. They're family owned and operated, and they're a real partner with indie stores like us and you.
And you can partner with them at nw-naturals.net.
And right now, Northwest Naturals is offering an extra 5% on Gap ISOs for current clients, plus an extra 5% on any new ISO for new clients.
Just use promo code PetShopGirls.
Pet Shop Girls, the voice of the indie, the heart of the trade. Pet Shop Girls, unleash your power, let's make some waves.
Hey everybody, I'm Sherry.
And I'm Carly.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pet Shop Girls podcast.
Pet Shop Girls.
Yeah,
Sorry, because you would have just heard
no,
that.
I am still loving
Me too.
that song. Like, it has really grown on me. Thank you,
I know.
Carly.
Like, Zaner looks at me like a crazy woman every time it plays because I'm bouncing around singing the lyrics. I love it.
Even the last call we were on with Art from Artvark, he was singing it to us.
Yes, I know. It's a catchy little tune.
You can rock out to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today? We've both dealt with this recently, and that's why we wanted to do a whole episode.
Well, and like we're in the middle of the holiday season right now, like full on in swing, everything is coming at you. And so it's probably likely that many, many pet pros are feeling the fatigue associated with events. But it's not just us that feels this way. I think a lot of consumers and our customers are also feeling that event fatigue.
Yeah. And I just don't think enough people talk about it. And because all I hear in the space that we're usually in,
Yeah.
me and Carly, is oh, you got to have events. You got to have events. You got to have events. And yes, I do believe that most independent stores probably don't do enough, but then there's some that probably do too much. And
yeah, and
I've come across that wall myself too.
Yeah. And I guess I started thinking about this too, because like we've always been fairly successful with our events. And some of our events, of course, are our favorite events. But what I started noticing was a bit of a decrease in turnout. And that's what made me think like, wait, well, hang on a second here. Are my customers experiencing some sort of event fatigue? Like, been there, done that, don't need to do this again. And we may have talked about this before, but like our school photos, which I think are absolutely adorable.
Adorable.
They're so cute. But, and when we finally kind of stumbled upon that event, I was like, oh my goodness, this will always and forever be our Bark to School event. I think for our customers, they're like, well, my dog's appearance doesn't change every year like my child's does in school. And so each year, you can see as a kid goes through kindergarten to 12, grade 12, you can see the difference in their appearance each year. But if you got your dog's Bark to School pictures last year, he probably looks the same this year.
How can you change it up? Or maybe a different colored backdrop, or maybe things they could wear,
Yeah. And I think, and that's what we need to talk about, because I think for us as pet pros and our teams, there's definitely fatigue associated with events, because it's like,
with the staff too,
Mm-hmm.
And yourself.
Yeah.
I'll share my most recent event story. So our biggest event of the year is Woofaween, and that's kind of our anniversary too. So we were celebrating 19 years in business this past Woofaween. And, it takes a lot of time and effort to put these things together. I had a raffle table with $3,000 worth of raffles on it, but we only raised funds for rescue a fraction of that.
Yeah.
And like, it just was, It wasn't where I wanted it to be. The turnout was less than I wanted it to be. And I threw money at Facebook ads, and I posted more on Facebook than I've ever posted before. I mean, I thought I was shouting it from the rooftops, and I didn't see an increase in people coming. In fact, there was a decrease.
Mm-hmm.
So now it rained, so maybe that was a problem too. But
I don't.
I think I need to switch it up because I've been doing the same thing for 19 years, and yes, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, but we haven't really switched it up at all.
Yeah. And I don't think it was necessarily just you. This Halloween was kind of weird, right? Most stores or pet pros that were doing events would have been doing that on the Saturday prior to the Halloween that was on Friday. I think, and for us, like, we didn't get rain, but we had a beautiful weekend, which is kind of not normal for my neck of the woods. So it was I know this doesn't mean anything to you, Sherry, but it was plus 10 here. So for Canadians.
I don't know what that means.
It was a very nice day. And I think that on that weekend, people were like, this is the last light night, nice weekend
could you
of
wear
the
shorts?
year.
Could you wear shorts?
Don't be crazy, but I'm sure there were people out there that were wearing shorts. But I was kind of thinking, because our attendance was very, very low as well for Halloween. And I'm like, is it the timing of the year? Is it this gorgeous weekend that we're getting at the end of October that normally doesn't happen in Saskatchewan? And, are people going like, oh, I got to get outside because I won't be able to get outside for the next 6 months. Like, I don't know. But I wonder, though, if we're doing the same things over and over and over again each year, because yes, you will get new customers who never attended your events last year. But then you do also have that core set of customers that have been with you since day one or for many, many years. And they have attended this event and they're like, oh my God, Sherry, could you do something different? Like, we did this for the past 6 years. Yeah. And, there is likely some event fatigue associated with customers.
That's our signature event. And it's always the Saturday before Halloween at a certain time. But I was going to suggest, if you're having difficulty with a certain event that had some success in the past but doesn't now, maybe switch the day and time.
Yeah.
You could try that.
I think what I've really found, especially if I'm doing evening events, when the store is closed and we're doing some sort of an event in the evening, Thursdays tend to work best.
I have found that too. Yeah. Because most people have plans on Friday and Saturday already.
Well, and listen, I remember one year we did our kind of special little Christmas party for our, Platinum Paws customers. And I always tried to do it the day after Remembrance Day, right? So it was always going to be on a November 12th. I don't pick when November 12th happens, but it's just so happened that one year that it happened on a Saturday. So November 11th was the Friday, and so Saturday was our party. I've got every one of my team members in. So there's 5 of us in the store to host this party. We've got food, we've got drinks, we've got all the things. And my parents were 2 of the 5 people that showed up, BT dubs. But my dad walks in, and this is winter in Saskatchewan on a Saturday night. And he's like, why are you doing this on a Saturday? And I'm like, well, because it's November 12th. I don't pick the dates. I pick the dates, but I don't pick when November 12th falls. And he's like, nobody is coming to a pet store on a Saturday night after they've gone out and done all of their things. A pet store is not the place that people are thinking like, oh, I'm going to start my Saturday night off at a pet store before I go to the bar. So
I guess unless you were giving away margaritas or something.
Yeah, maybe. I get, so that they could prime themselves before they head off to the bar. But
pregame.
Yeah. So I kind of think, I think mixing it up for your customer, but also for you and your staff, right? There's a lot of work that goes into hosting events. They don't have to be huge. And even the small events still take some coordination and some planning and some, communication, obviously, to get it out to your customer. But for your staff, for you, and for your customers, maybe mixing it up a little bit. And even if you alternated years, maybe Woofaween is some of your customers' most favorite events or event, right? That they wait for all year round. And it's kind of that hey, if you don't do it every year, then you better be on the ball because you've got to come next year.
Right. No, that's a great idea. Like have a big event on one year, off another year, which brings me to the idea of having a signature event, or what would you call it? Like one big event each quarter.
Yes, just like a quarterly event. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have like little ones sprinkled throughout,
Because I mean, obviously there is value in hosting events, but I think the trap that we fall into as pet pros is we host an event. It's gangbusters. It's awesome. And so we can't wait to do it again next year. But our customers, again, they're kind of going like, well, you did this. I did this last year. Like I came for this already. So maybe those really big, super great events, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe either. And I guess it doesn't even have to be that you totally change it up, but maybe there is a minor switch up, right? If you called it, and I'm just going to go back to Woofaween, if you called it Woofaween last year or this year, maybe next year it's called, Howl at the Moon or something. And so people are like, oh, there's a brand new event. And maybe it's the same kind of idea, but it's a different name. So they're like, I got to go because it's new.
Yes. One thing I am going to do next year, because it is our 20th anniversary, since we're talking about Wolfoween again, I'm hiring a party planner to see if that helps. And because it is our biggest event of the year, I'm hoping that'll take some stress off of me and the staff. And the girl that I'm hiring has some PR experience too.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, and I think too, like, maybe the styles of events that we're having. I think a lot of people always associate events with sales. If I'm having an event, I got to have something to sell, or I've got to have something that's on deal or something, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be that. So I think even rotating your different event styles, like, hey, maybe this event is going to be educational. This event is going to be an experience that you're providing for your customer. This event might be seasonal. That event might be about charity, or you get your vendors to come in, or it's some sort of a hands-on activity that your customer is doing. So it's not just always like, oh, we're having this big event, come for our sale.
Or I think what a lot of stores do is too many pictures. Like, oh, it's another photo event.
Listen,
like
100%. And that's, I think too, like, that's where I always say, like, think outside the litter box. If you think about big box stores in the pet space, they do pictures with Santa Paws or pictures with the Grinch. Maybe they do pictures with the Easter Bunny.
And I love a good Instagram moment, but like if all you're doing is a photo event every month, people are going to get tired of that.
Yeah. Like either it's always pictures, or it's always nail trims, or it's always adoption events. And again, you kind of been to one, you been to them all, right?
Yeah.
So I think absolutely like mixing it up. And again, and I think that's where I was going too with it. It doesn't always have to be a sale. Like, because I think that kind of feels almost car salesman-ish, making a word here.
That's why I like to give out a lot of samples at events, because you may not sell a lot during the event, but then the weeks following, people are going to come back in and be like, oh, I tried this thing that I got at your party and my dog loved it. Where is it? I want to buy it.
Yes.
So the sales will come later. You know?
Yeah, you may not recognize the sales the day of, but I think it's also like when there is something super unique or different that they get to do. Like I remember the first time we did a puppy pancake brunch, like we were out of pancakes in 2 hours or 3 hours. And I'm like, what the heck?
This pancake thing. I was telling somebody about this pancake thing. And look, brunch is big in Texas. We love our brunch. But I've never heard of this pancake brunch. And that's a thing in Canada, right?
It is in my store. I don't know.
Pancakes specifically?
I don't know. Any brunch I've ever gone to, there's a variety of foods to eat.
Because I was thinking about doing waffles.
You could definitely do waffles, and there's those little
Waffle
mini
House
waffle.
is big down here. So
that's true. You do always
yeah.
talk about the Waffle House, but
I know we need to go to a Waffle House one day. Oh my gosh, you got to have the pecan waffle.
well, if you think about, I used to make, sorry, totally off topic, butterscotch and pecan pancakes.
What?
Yeah, they're kind of delicious. Anyways, and don't ask me to share the recipe because none of my recipes are the same all the time.
I'm
throw
gonna
stuff
try
in
your pumpkin recipe that you shared on Substack. I'm gonna try that. The picture looked amazing.
It is
It looks
delicious.
so good, and you said it was super easy, right?
It is. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I believe that.
That is a true story.
Oh gosh.
Yes, but it is delicious. Pet Pros, if you've ever dreamed of having your own branded line of chews, now's the time.
For real, I've got my own line, and it's all thanks to Aardvark Pet Products. They make it so easy with their private label program built just for indie stores. And I love being able to design my own labels.
Okay, but if you're not a design freak like Miss Sherry, you don't have to design your own labels because they'll do it all for you. And with their low minimums, no sneaky fees, getting your logo on chews you can actually be proud of has never been easier.
Exactly. And trust me, it makes a difference. Better margins, stronger brand presence, and your customers love supporting local.
Right. So head to artvarkpet.com and check out everything they have because indie retailers deserve big brand power without the big brand nonsense.
That's ARTVARK pet.com. And if you want a $600 design pack for free and to avoid those pesky setup fees, plus get 10% off your first order, be sure to mention the Pet Shop Girls sent you.
I think, too, the reason that my family is not such a fan, they don't trust my cooking ever. So they're always kind of like, they'll try very small pieces and they're like, oh, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, it's delicious. Just eat it.
I ate the pierogies that you made.
Yeah. I used to make a peanut butter pie. And that was the one thing that my dad was always like, he would eat all of the peanut butter pie because he loved the peanut butter pie. Anyways.
Okay.
So off topic.
I don't know what we're talking about now.
Okay, well, so what we're talking about
brunch.
We were talking about the puppy pancake brunch.
Pancake.
Yeah.
I've not tried one of those. I think that would be really fun. My issue is when I look at events, I'm like, and this is what I struggle with. And so I know I'm not the only one. I'm like, how much effort is this going to be on me? How much staff resources is this going to take? Is it going to be worth it? Like how much of a headache is this? And is it going to be worth it? And I don't want to sit there and make a bunch of pancakes. That's where I'm at with it, you know?
I have multiple thoughts on that. One, if you think about like candy bars or those kinds of things at weddings, right? The kind of self-serve options have become very popular. And so if we use the puppy pancake brunch as an example, yes, you have to make some pancakes. It is pretty easy if you have a dog-friendly pancake recipe because you literally just add water, mix, pour, cook, and put in the fridge. That's what I did. The first year that we did it, I actually made pancakes from scratch, like a dog-friendly pancake recipe that was made with like shredded apples and bananas and oat
Oh, wow.
flour.
That's over the top.
It was crazy over the top. Zaner loved them though. Like the little monkey devoured those pancakes. He loved them. But the next year that we did it, I had found a pup-safe pancake mix. So literally all I had to do was add water, mix, pour,
right.
cook.
So, and did you advertise that you use this mix and then you could sell it?
I did because yes. And then we also used some of our peanut butter, pup-safe peanut butter that we could put on top of the pancakes. But what I was going to suggest with regards to kind of amount of effort, if you set up your little kind of build your pancake bar in the store where you've got like, we have a we have it's called a wholesale club here. And so I don't know that it's truly wholesale.
Like Costco or something?
Ish, kind of, but it's got a bunch of like no-name products. And I mean, they have some brand names too, but they also have different kind of restaurant supply. So if you think about like when you go to like a hot dog, where you would get a hot dog and they've got those little white trays with the clear lids, and you put your relish and your mustard and your ketchup and your onions and all that stuff in there, and then people self-serve. I have one of those for the store. So when we do events like this, we use that. I have I have far too many serving trays for the store, but I like that one because the lid covers, right? And we're usually doing this in April. So sometimes there can be bugs and, flies and whatever ick that I don't want in the hound's food. But so you just fill that up, and then literally you give the person their pancake and they go put their toppings on. So we do like yogurt and blueberries and raspberries and pineapple. And then we also do some freeze dried. So if you've got more of a little meatitarian.
This is like an ice cream bar,
yes,
which we have done.
Exactly.
But like I'll get the cups of ice cream and just have those available in a cooler. And then we set up all the little toppings that they could put on it.
Yeah.
And we just hand them the ice cream.
Build your own sundae. Exactly. Yeah. So that's so when you were kind of talking about like, well, how much work is this? And how many staff do I have to do this? If you kind of do that ahead of time, like you've got everything set up. And so they're just basically going to go to your topping bar and make their own pancake.
Have you done this every year?
We did not do it this year. We did it the 2 years before that. This year I was
okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you see more or less people show up for the second one?
Less for the second one. That's where I think that's where I started to think about.
So you want to skip a year, and then are you going to do it this following year?
We could possibly do it this. Yeah. And
then you could do waffles.
Well, listen, the pancake mix that I have for the hoons, you can make pancakes, you can make muffins, you can make cookies, it's basically like your flour substitute, but it's somewhat slightly flavored, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The other thing that I was thinking too with the ROI, and you kind of talked about that earlier, you may not see those sales results that day, but when you treat every customer just like you would any other customer in your store with, an exceptional experience, chances are good that they are coming back. But at the very least, you're going to get them on your email list.
They're going to remember the experience and associate your store with being super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes an event is just customer appreciation.
And you know what? I mean, I think too, there's another way, 100% customer appreciation, but there's another way. Like I think about one event that we had where we teamed up with another local business. And we've talked about this kind of thing before where they have they're like doggy treadmills in their truck and they go to you.
Oh yeah, I've had that. I've had that at my store. Yeah.
Yeah. So we teamed up with them and people literally came for that, but they are customers to this day. And they were
so
like,
they found you because of that event?
Because of the event.
That makes the event worth it.
That's what I mean, right? So even though it feels like a lot of work and sometimes we feel very run down.
You look at the numbers at the end of the day and you're like, oh,
yeah,
what the hell,
But we also gained a lifetime customer. And it's tough to see that immediately after the event because you don't know how long they're going to shop with you. But yeah, that event, we did that over 2 years ago. And these people, they have shopped with us ever since. They bring their family when they're not from here. So when their family comes to town, they bring their family because this is their dog's favorite store, right? So she knows the drill. When she comes in, she gets a snack, she gets her picture taken, she gets lots of pets and belly rubs. And so they love bringing her. But they told me at that event, and I remember them saying, because when I started talking to them, I knew I didn't know them. And then we started talking, what does she eat? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, she eats open farm. And I'm like, well, not from me. She doesn't because I know you then. And the more we talked, now they feed raw food exclusively, but the more we talked, then finally that's when they were saying we've never been to a pet store like this before that does these kinds of events. So I think there's value in that, right? You are going to attract a certain type of customer. We have some customers who have been shopping with us since day one who have never showed up to event. Not their jam, right? They just they don't care. but you are still going to attract them. And I think there's some things that like we can do to maybe to mix it up. I have never offered, for example, like free gift or something to the first 10 people who show up to the puppy pancake brunch.
Yeah, I haven't done that either. Yeah, just to try to get more people in there sooner.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say like different, if you even just change small components of an event that you have done year after year and maybe call it something a little different.
Right.
It looks like a different event.
Throw in a spin the wheel thing or free gift the first 10 or something like that.
Mystery discount, something. Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
This year I realized, I tried to look at it through the customer's lens, and I love doing stuff with my dog. And I like to go places where I can take my dog. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, in the world we all live in, there's not a whole lot of places you can do that.
Unless you live in Phoenix.
So I was like, okay, and what kind of event can I create where somebody can do something with their dog? They can come and go as they please. They don't have to be there at a certain time, because I think that's another constraint.
Yeah.
You know, trying to fit your event schedule into somebody else's busy life, is a problem. Yep. So that's why I decided to try that Sniffari event.
Talk about your Sniffari event, Sherry, because not only was it a huge success for you, but when you shared it with our Substackers, then they were making the comments about how it worked so well for them too.
That made me so happy when somebody was like, okay, they did the event and it was successful. So it was so successful. Okay, I did it, I think, in August, and it is hot in Texas in August. And you can't even take your dog out on a walk, So I'm like, oh my gosh, if I could create something where people can come in out of the heat and do something engaging with their animal, how can I make that happen? So actually, I did not come up with this idea. I want to give credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. What was her name?
Bree.
Yeah. Bree. She's in our group. Oh gosh, the name of her store, I forget, but her store is beautiful. I've seen it in pictures.
Tennessee. She's in Tennessee, right?
Tennessee. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, she gave us this idea a long time ago. I just never did it, So finally I got to be up my butt somehow and did it. And I am kicking myself for not doing it sooner. So the exact breakdown of how to do this is in our Substack, but pretty much there's treat stations throughout the store. There's balloons where each treat station is so that the customer can see it, but the dogs can't. They just go around, they walk around the store and sniff. And then at the end, you can do a discount on the treats that were in each bucket. So if they liked a certain treat, you could, sorry. I'm a little distracted. I can hear your...
Yep, so can I.
I can hear him barking. I don't know if everybody else can. Anyway, here's what happened, though, in weeks after that. It got people to try new treats. Then they buy the new treats. Also, when they come back in the store with their dog, the dog wants to walk the entire store.
Yeah.
It also gets the person to walk the entire store and see things that they hadn't seen before. It encourages them to shop the entire store. Yeah. And we've got a pretty big store, so it totally makes sense for us. It was such a success, I threw the dice and did it again about 2.5 months later, which I normally don't do an event that close, the same event that close to each other.
Yeah.
But it was a huge success again.
Yeah.
So I think this is an event that I'm probably going to do quarterly. Mm-hmm. And it works so well for the reasons that I just talked about. But I think it's because people can come and go as they please.
Yes. That's, well, and along those lines, we have to remember that, like, we get up every day and we know what events are happening in our store and we know what sales we've got going on and we know what's all the things. But we are a little piece of noise in a very noisy world for your customer. We're not the only ones trying to get their attention. You've got big box trying to get their attention. You've got other local stores not in pet. You've got all of these places. You've got insurance salesmen. You've got everybody under the sun vying for that person's attention. And even though dogs are the things that we think about, or cats or pets or whatever, it's the person has a life outside of their animal. Shame on them, but they do. and so we are, again, we're one little tiny piece of noise in a very noisy environment for the customer. But I like the idea of quarterly,
the flexibility, a flexible event.
Yeah. And like, I think about too, when I did the paparazzi takeover, and we kind of combined rescue with a local photographer, and I had the sticker machine, and I was saying to you, like, oh my God, like people were coming just for the stickers. And I at first was thinking like, oh, maybe I should be doing like these stickers, just have them, you can order them online and I can print off stickers of your dogs. And it was you, Sherry, who said, no, like do that quarterly. Like people were coming for those stickers.
I mean, you want them to come in the store, right?
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We are doing, of course, we're doing Santa's pictures with Santa Paws. A couple of the things that we're actually doing this year. So I'm going to consider these events, even though I would say effort on my team, or not effort, what would I call it? Like the strain on my resources is minimum. So one of the things that we're doing is letters to Santa Paws. And all I did was I built a great big, like 2 foot by 1.5 foot poster of a picture of Santa Paws with letters running down, like falling down on him, and a little doggy dressed up like a Santa. And it's a QR code with the instructions on a scroll that basically says, like, scan the QR code, tell Santa Paws what your furry guy wants on his wish list, and there might be a surprise in his response, because every dog's letter or cat's letter will get a response from Santa Paws. The whole purpose here is that I am trying to drive them to my website, because their response, I also did set up Desk of Santa Paws email account. So it will come from the Desk of Santa Paws.
That sounds like if for somebody who's not as tech savvy, that sounds like a lot of setup. And I'm wondering, could you break that down step by step and put it in the Substack so that we can all,
Yeah.
Well, no, because, okay, so when they...
Well, actually, you know what? It kind of almost already is.
Is it in there?
Ish. Because it's in the Santa service guide.
Okay.
It literally, this is where I got this idea
Santa
from.
service. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in our Substack. Go check it out if you haven't found us. It's Pet Shop Girls Off the Record.
Yeah.
So here's my question. So they scan the QR code. It goes to what? A Google Sheet?
It goes to a form. It goes to a form
and then they have
that
to fill it out.
Yeah. So they're going to put their name and the email that Santa needs to respond to. And then they can either walk around my store and take pictures of their furry guy's favorite things and include that in the form. Or
so are you going to respond to each one of these emails by hand, or is it an auto response with a coupon?
It's going to be an electronic response that will be somewhat canned. So I'm not going to be like sitting there trying to write a letter from scratch every single time. But yes, it's going to include a coupon code or a promo code for the items that the pet is interested in for them to shop on my website. And then they get that discount.
Okay, so you're probably not expecting 500 people to do this.
I would be happy if 500 people did, but I don't think that 500 people would. However, the other thing that we're doing is our pet holiday wish list. And so I made up little postcards that the person fills out in store. And I have already had people asking, when does the holiday wish list come out? And I'm like, oh my goodness. So, and it went out on November 12th. I love it when people get excited. Yeah, I love it when people get excited beforehand. So what this is essentially, think of a bridal registry. Like if you're getting married and you went and registered at some store, and then your guests from the wedding could go and they'll be like, oh, well, like, where's Sherry's registry? Oh, here it is. Okay, this is bought. But these things are available, and Sherry still has indicated she wants these. Same idea, but it's on a little postcard. So we fill out the little pupper's name or the kitty's name. the pet parent's name, like what the account is associated with, because I have a bazillion Milos that come to my store. And then there's a spot where they can kind of, these are Milo's favorite treats. These are Milo's favorite toys, choose whatever. Here's what Milo cannot have. They fill that out. They can then also take a picture, post it to their stories, but then they're going to send their friends and family to my store to shop for what Milo wants for Christmas that they've identified.
I like that a lot. I was just wondering, how do they get it to their friends and family? They're supposed to post it.
They can post it on their stories, or they can tell them, like, go to House of Paws, like Milo has his wish list up there. And then we're basically, when they come in and they're like, hey, I'm here to buy presents for Milo. Apparently he has a wish list here. We go to our wish list wall.
Oh, so the card stays at the store.
Card stays at the store, yes. And then we go see, okay, which Milo is it? Okay, it's this Milo. Okay, here's what Milo wants. When his wish list is fulfilled, I also bought a roll of like a bunch of little blue stars. So when the wish is fulfilled, then we put the blue star on the card so that people can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these were ideas in the Santa Paws service guide that is already in Substack. And they were super easy. So I basically had to build a poster and order it. I did that. And then I took it one step farther because that's what I do. But I took it one step further and I created an email for, that's coming from the desk of Santa Paws, so that when they get the response, it's coming from the desk of Santa Paws. And then, that's where they'll get the little promo code for the things that they say. See, he's talking to Zaner now.
I know. You guys, normally our dogs are usually pretty quiet, but
yeah. But and then the little gift registry, it's kind of like now we're just making shopping for the pets easy for anybody that knows the pets and like, oh yes, I have to buy Milo his Christmas present, but I never know what to get him.
I love that. I can't wait to hear how good that works, because I might do that next year.
Yeah. It was super easy. I literally just ordered postcards and ordered stars. Sticker stars. And now I'm going to, what I am going to do, our one door that goes from the front to the back of the store. We kind of, it's always plain. So we hang stuff there sometimes, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the door in what's it called? Wrapping paper.
That to make it look like a big present.
And then it's going to be easy just to tape the cards to the wrapping paper, right? Rather than me having to sit there with blue sticky tack and
yeah. Okay. Back to event fatigue though.
Well, now we're rejuvenated because we came up with a bunch of cool ideas.
I know. No, I'm actually excited about that. Look, here's an easy one that I call an event, but you could say it's just a promo, and I'll do a sticker day.
Yes.
A sticker day is where I come up with a custom sticker that I've created. I order like 150 of them, and then I'll have a sticker giveaway weekend. So anybody who comes in and shops with me that weekend gets a sticker. I program that in as an event on Facebook and my website, and I call it an event.
Yeah. But your people love it. Like they come because now they've started their collection.
They want to collect the stickers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, and it's something to post about. It's something to talk about on social media. And it really didn't take much planning or effort at all.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to ROI and tracking things. And because I love your event tracker, I use it for every month. Mm-hmm. I actually turned it into, I took the PDF and I put it in my Remarkable, which I absolutely love. If anybody wants to talk to me about my Remarkable, just reach out to me. I'll talk your ear off. But that way I can duplicate that PDF and I make my little files with each month, and then I'll put all of those in a whole year. Anyway, so I've got like 3 years worth of event tracking so far. And what that does is you can track how many new people did you get off of it? What was your average sale? What did you do? What could you change? And that way, when the next year rolls around, you can go back to those notes instead of trying to just remember. Yep. And it'll help you tweak the event this way or that, or whether you should do it again at all.
Yep.
Plus, and I think I've said this before, if you ever go to sell your business, it just adds icing on the cake
Mm-hmm.
for whoever is buying so that they have all of this information.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
but Carly's event planner is available on your website, right?
Yeah. houseofpawspetpro.com.
Yes. Did you have a promo?
.com.
Did you have a promo code for that?
There is Pet Shop Girls, and you get 10% off on anything you want to buy.
All right. I know it sounds like we're plugging a lot here, but like her event planner is the best one I've ever come across. So
Ah. Well, okay. So how can we break through the event fatigue? And I think that we've talked about, a few options. I think mixing it up. So keeping it fresh for not only you and your team, but also your customer. I think that trying something new, but it doesn't mean that it has to be every quarter. It doesn't mean it has to be every year. And here's the thing too. I think when we talk about events, so I'm glad that we gave these little kind of easy event ideas, because those are not great, big, huge, got to put all this work and time into these events, but they're still events. So if you want to do those big events, like maybe that is a once or twice a year, but the rest of the year or the other months of the year, it's little tiny things.
yeah,
And
something to talk about online, just a little something fun here and there. It doesn't have to be a big blowout thing every weekend. You'll go crazy, your staff will go crazy, and your customers will get tired. Customers will get tired of it.
Yeah, for sure they will. Like, actually, before we jumped on here to record, one of the things we were talking about is I'm doing the Furry Fortune card for the new year. And
I love that name.
yeah, I'm going to consider that an event, but it's essentially a bounce back card. If you guys are part of our Substack, that is where I shared my Fetch It card event that I did for the last, for Q4 of this year. And the Fetch It card was the way I described it to customers was it's the opposite of a credit card, and it actually increases in value over time versus having you pay more. But they are coming back month after month with their little Fetch It cards because they are redeeming their rewards. So it's working to get those bounce, the
good,
people
because
bouncing back.
I'm doing my own version of that in a couple weeks. So that's good to know that it's working.
It's working. And so that's why I'm going to do it again in Q1 of 2026 with my Furry Fortune card. And this one's going to look a little bit different because I'm trying to mix it up, even though the idea is relatively similar. I'm mixing it up a little bit. So it's going to be on a postcard, and it's going to be a scratch off instead of a hole punch. But it's the same idea. The whole idea is to get these customers coming back month after month after month. And if I can continue to do this, maybe it just becomes a habit that they shop every month. Now, should I do it back-to-back quarters? Probably not. I would say if somebody asked me that, I'd say no, I'd probably skip a quarter. But the first quarter, I didn't come up with this idea until too late, which is why I did it the last quarter of the year. But the first quarter of the year is traditionally slower in retail. So that's why I want to try to do what I can right now to get them to come back month after month in the first quarter of the year.
For sure.
Yeah. But I also think too, this is something I've struggled with since I've opened my store. I wanted to do a make your own snuffle mat event in my store.
Oh, my old training facility I went to, they did those, and I've thought about doing it, but I've never pulled the trigger either.
Well, let me tell you why I can't pull the trigger on this. Now, maybe there's easier ways to do this, but prior to opening my store, and I used to run my pet expo, I made snuffle mats one year. I'm telling you, I couldn't feel my baby fingers after tying that many knots of fleece. Also, until I got a material cutter, I was using scissors to cut all of the fleece so I couldn't feel my hand for 3 days. Anyways, where it's, and now prices are crazy, right? But I'm trying to think, okay, how do I prepare for this event, but also make sure that enough people are coming? And I guess what you'd have to do is you'd have to sell the tickets in advance.
And say this is only limited to 8 people. First 8 people get in, and it costs, $30.
Yeah. And it would all depend on the space that you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking too. You couldn't really, like when I was doing it, when I was just making these snuffle mats, because I think snuffle mats just kind of became a thing, and Zaner loved his snuffle mat. When I first learned of them and went and did it, I went to our fabric store and I literally just bought all of their discounted fleece. So I didn't care what it looked like. Right at the end of the day, I'm just throwing Zaner's treats and snacks in there for him to snuffle around. What I got for the base was, you know, those rubber kind of big rubber mats. They're like 3x3 and they've got all the little holes in them.
Yeah, for like standing on in restaurant, like if like back
That's
of
what I
restaurant
bought.
mat. Yeah.
That's what I bought. Yeah. And then I cut it into 9 1x1, like 1 foot by 1 foot snuffle mats. But you use a lot of fleece.
Well, that's why you got to sell tickets to that. And then you're pretty much, they're paying for not just the supplies, but the experience and the expertise that you're providing.
And what it was though is the prep to cut all of that fleece. And that's where I'm saying, like, maybe, I don't know if there's some type of business that I could say, like, I need all of this fleece cut into 1
maybe
inch
a tailor.
by 12.
You could go to like a tailor and be like, can you cut all this into this size for me? It's almost reminds me of going to a butcher and saying, I need this many slices in this thickness. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about, okay, so I'm not a big meat eater. I don't really like meat, but I was going to make dried Greek ribs. And so
I've never heard of that.
Listen, this guy I used to date was an amazing cook. And he was going to make these dried Greek ribs. And I'm like, I don't really like ribs. And he's like, oh, you'll like these ones. So anyways, he made them and they were delicious. So years later, now I'm dating a different guy. And now I'm going to make these ribs for him. And he's like, well, I don't really like ribs. And I'm like, oh, you'll like these ones. But, so I went to the grocery store to buy the ribs. And all I found was a rack of ribs. And I'm standing out there and I'm looking and the little butcher dude comes out from behind the counter and he's like, can I help you with something? I'm like, where are the cut up ones? And he's like, pardon? And I'm like, where are the ribs that are already cut up? And he's like, ribs are not sold cut up. They're sold as a rack. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to touch them to cut them.
So he offered to cut it for you?
He did. He's like, why won't you touch them? And I'm like, ew. Anyways, he's like, okay, I'm not supposed to do this. He's like, I'll take them in the back and I will cut them for you, but don't ever tell anybody I did this. Now I just told everybody who listens to this podcast. Anyways, so
hey,
yes,
it's customer service, you know. I think that's something that should be offered. Yeah,
I didn't forget it, and that was literally 25 years ago. But yes, so we definitely need some sort of fleece butcher. But that would also add an additional cost. I'm sure nobody's going to cut this fleece for free.
Yeah,
so that would add an additional cost to your type of an event. But I just think like those obviously would be after hours events. And I'm thinking if you've kind of got to that point where you're like, I've hit a wall, I cannot event anymore, start maybe just take a step back and kind of go, okay, you know what? I am fatigued. And during the holiday season, of course, customers are looking for things to do, but at the same time, they're probably going, oh my God, if there's one more thing I have to go to, like, and now you want me to bring my dog to a holiday snack party or whatever, like maybe they're not coming, but take a step back, maybe figure out where's that small little tweak that I can still, show that I want to. I think there's lots of customers that still love events. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot of customers that are like, I wanted to come, I just couldn't, or whatever. And if you get enough of those, I wanted to come, but I just couldn't because something else was going on, it feels like our events are, maybe not worth the effort. But I still believe in events. I still believe that they are worth the effort.
For sure. We're not saying don't do them. Yeah. We're saying, it doesn't have to be a big blowout thing every weekend because you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, we brought all this up because we were struggling with it ourselves.
Yeah.
And with my big event that I do every year, I was a little disappointed in it. And, again, if I'm feeling it, I know I'm not the only one. So,
But if we just continue to repeat the same events over and over and over and over and over again out of obligation.
Well, isn't that the definition of crazy? If you do the same thing over and over again and it's not working.
Different results. Yeah, it doesn't happen. So yeah, I think that's where you just kind of sit back and go, okay, well, hang on a second. You know what? For 5 years or 10 years or 19 years, we've done it this way. Is there an opportunity to still have this event, but rebrand it? And tweak it a little bit so that it breathes life back into the event. Maybe your team goes, yeah, this is exciting because it's not the exact same thing we've done for 19 years. And maybe the customers also go, oh my goodness, Odyssey's having this crazy new event. It's not that different. We just called it something different and we added cupcakes or whatever it is, right?
Right. Maybe that's what I just need to offer cupcakes. Maybe that's the answer.
Waffles. Apparently, waffles. Yeah, waffle.
Well, you've talked about just offering sheet cake, and people come in for that. So
listen, they love their cake. But
I guess.
And you know what? Every time I get a cake for whatever we might be doing, whether it's a celebration or just whatever, and I think to myself, some good things did come out of COVID, and that was one of them. Because what we would do with our cakes during COVID is we would go out and we would get like little restaurant takeout, like soup cups with lids. And so we would cut, we'd put our little gloves on and we would cut everybody's.
Do you still do that?
To this day.
You still put it in the
100%. Yep. So then
maybe I'll do a cake day in December.
You could totally do it.
So do you do it with purchase or people can just come in and get their cake?
No, they come get their cake because we cut that cake. Like we get a Costco cake. But we cut it into 50 pieces. And if we don't give all the cake away throughout the day, then we're going to be stuck with 20 pieces of cake or, whatever it is, because not everybody wants cake, but lots of people do.
But people actually come in for the cake.
Yeah. I was just giving the gears to one of my customer who's all every time he comes in, he's like, where's the cake? And I'm like, you don't get cake every time you come. And then the last time we did do cake was neighborhood pet store day. And I was totally expecting to see them because he always wants the cake. And he just came in this past weekend and I'm like,
you missed the cake.
Where were you for the cake? And he's like, well, where's the cake this week? And I'm like, the cake isn't here this weekend. But anyways, yeah, no, we have people that literally come just for the cake, but it's super easy. I go get the cake. I snap a picture because as soon as I get it out of that box, I'm chopping it up into 50 pieces. I package it all up in their little to-go and we've got, a little bucket of spoons or forks or whatever the people can take. And then we just slap them with cake as they're going out the door. Don't forget your cake, take your cake.
Yeah. I love it. I think I'm going to do a cake day for sure.
There you go. Could you call it something other than cake day?
Cake
that's
what I was thinking.
By the ocean, cake by the Odyssey.
Or you can have your cake and eat it too.
You can have it. You can have your cake and eat it too, but your dog can't. So boo-hoo.
Okay, we're working on it, folks. We're working on it. This is an idea in progress.
This is the arrest of event fatigue pouring out of our faces, and we're fatigued. So it'll be a 3 a.m. idea or a shower thought that comes up, and here's your cake name.
Yes, anyways. Shower thoughts. Yeah, at 3 a.m. Yeah, you'll get a message from me.
Yeah, I'll be on Do Not Disturb. Okay. All right, Pet Bros. Hopefully there's some little golden nuggets in here if you are also feeling a little bit of the event fatigue, but also know that we are looking at the home stretch right now. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are only weeks away from Christmas where we get through the holiday season.
We can do it.
I know more stuff happens, but at least you know what? You're going to get a little bit of rest and reprieve over Christmas.
Yeah, and then plan we're that vacay in the new year. That helps me. Plan your vacay for after the holidays.
There is no vacay for some of us.
There is. There's always vacay.
I'm just looking forward to the world stopping on Christmas Day so that I can rest.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Pet Pros. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Pet Pro, that's it for this week.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe.
Just hit all the buttons.
And if you want more, join us in the Indie Insider, our private Facebook group for pet pros.
Then you'll never miss the podcast that makes you sit, stay, and beg for more. The Pet Shop Girls.
Pet Shop Girls.
You know, Sherry, when I first opened House of Paws, I was spending way too much time making documents that I needed from scratch. Employee handbooks, sales games, event planners, even little giveaways for customers.
I remember, and those weren't just nice to haves. They make your store run smoother and kept your customers coming back.
Exactly. Every document I created was because I needed it for my own store. And then I kept hearing from other pet pros, I wish I had something like that.
I said that too, and that's what I love. These aren't theory. They're used in a real store with real results. I use your event planner every month. And now any indie retailer can grab them, save time, add their logo, and use them too.
Right? So if you're tired of starting from a blank page, check out houseofpawspetpro.com and use promo code PetShopGirls to get 10% off your first order and see which documents can help you get your time back. Did you know most customers